Joining us here now at Lloyd's challenge to break the Guinness Book of Record is a very well-known face around the bowling greens. You've always seen him running a book in his retired bookie now, isn't it? Dave Jenkinson, and he's here today supporting these lads. So, welcome to Talking Bowls, Dave.
Thank you very much.
How are you? You're looking
excellent.
well.
I'm looking a lot better than these lads outside are.
Yeah, okay. What do you think of these efforts out there?
It's absolutely staggering. I can't believe anybody can play bowls for 112 hours. By the time they finish, they'll have played more bowls on this green in a week than I'll probably play in 2 seasons.
That's right. You've been down more than, I mean, it's 11 o'clock now, Friday night. You've been down a few times in the week?
I've been down a fair bit, yeah. I tend to come on the way home from the panel, come down in the evenings if I can get down. I'm witnessing tomorrow, so I'll be here for most of the day tomorrow.
Yeah. And it's a good, I mean, Steve Ridley was saying earlier, there's probably been about 2,500 through the gate in the week.
The best night I've seen was last night. It was a good night last night. They had a good crowd on. There doesn't tend to be a lot overnight. I've not personally been here overnight, but I gather there's only 1 or 2 hardy folk come down, apart from the helpers who have really, they've put some effort into this.
Yeah, I mean, we've travelled up here tonight, you know, we just think it's awesome what they're doing,
yeah,
really.
It is, it's staggering. They do it all in the name of charity.
That's right.
A lot of people say some things which aren't necessarily pleasant about the Lloyds. Jealousy is the usual reason for it all, but
yeah,
giving up what they give up for this is unbelievable.
Yeah, they've won a lot of friends, haven't they?
They have indeed, yeah,
you know.
yeah. And
the game, I mean, the game, I mean, for people coming along supporting it, it's...
The saddest part about this is really that if it was any other sport other than bowls, there'd have been untold coverage on the media, TV, press, everything. There's been a little bit on the local Channel M, there's been something on BBC, but Granada's not been cited.
No.
And that's our local TV.
That's right, yeah. But, you know, Steve's done a good job, hasn't he, in getting what coverage.
He has indeed.
You know,
he's put a lot of effort into it in the last 12 months, organising everything, and now he's actually participating.
Yeah,
don't know how he does it.
He looked a bit rough when he come in there,
I'm sure he did, yeah.
You wasn't asked to play for 100 hours, Dave, were you?
No, well, there's no point in asking, because I couldn't have done it.
No, that's right. Why are you with us, Dave? You're on the committee of the panel, obviously, you've been heavily involved with that for years. How's the panel going these days?
It's doing as well now as it's probably done for a long time. It was in serious decline up till probably 4 or 5 years ago, and now they're getting gates sort of 50, 60 on the better days. We have the panel handicaps, which generally get a couple of hundred through the gate for the final days. It's doing a lot better now than it's done for a long time.
Yeah, and it's at the Red Lion, West Horton every day now, isn't it?
Yeah, every day, every working day of the week, Monday to Friday. We don't play at weekends because we want to rest.
Yeah. And do you ever? I know in the past the panel have played different greens. Do you swap greens at all?
No, very rarely move around now. All that will happen is for 2 weeks we'll probably go to the Lord Nelson, which is just up the road in Hindley, just to give them time to do some serious work on the green, like tining and overseeding and various other things, top dressing and whatever.
Well, I've heard good reports of the green this year.
The green's in excellent order. We've got a new greensman. 1 or 2 people probably know the guy. It's somebody called Noel Burrows, who's now looking after the green, although at the moment he's sunning himself in Spain.
Yeah, I know he is. Yeah, he's talking to me. He's in Nerja, I gather.
That's right, yeah, he's got an apartment there, which is very nice. My wife's been there with the kids. Yeah. I've not managed it yet because I get to look after the stables while they bugger off on holiday. Excuse my French.
No, that's all right. We've had worse than that this evening.
Yeah, don't
worry about that. So I mean, people have said to me that Noel knows every blade of grass on the Red Line, so he obviously
does. Yeah, he's top dog on the green. He invariably gives start to everybody, and really nobody wants to play him, whatever the game is. He's a master on the green.
And if you're playing the panel, obviously you give handicaps. Someone like Noel, what sort of start would he be giving someone?
It depends who he plays.
Yeah.
If he plays the better men like Chris Morrison, Dave Iggy, Mark Foster, even the likes of Jimmy Tabb, he'd probably only give them 2 or 3. But some of the other fellas like me, he's given me 7 in the past and a good hiding to go with it.
Yeah. And you've got an hard core of regular players then?
Yeah, there's 26 I think, which is a typical pick from every week. They use 20 players a week. Sometimes they'll probably use the same ones once or twice. People like to see Noel Burrows, they like to see the better players.
Yeah.
So if you can get them to turn out, they turn out. We've even got the likes of Gary Ellis playing nowadays, this year's Waterloo winner.
Yeah, he's tremendous.
Yeah.
And you was obviously involved in sort of the A days of the panel when Vernon and Brian Duncan and them were playing. How do you think
involved's
they compare
probably
now?
not right, because all I used to do then was go down and perhaps have a bet.
Yeah.
But them players were probably better as a group of players on the greens that they played on. They didn't necessarily win a great deal outside of that, apart from the likes of Duncan and one or two others, although Ingham Gregory did win the Waterloo. But on those greens they wanted some beating, because they used to play with different tackle, of course. They play with threes bias typically.
Yeah, and of course it was block and block in those days.
Block and block, threes bias, or 3 1/4, 2 1/2, whatever they play with.
Yeah. Did the panel have to change from those rules, or was it just
Didn't
a
have
decision?
to change, it was just a decision that people typically didn't have the correct equipment to play against other people who did.
Yeah.
So if you were playing a man with threes bias on an edge with twos bias, you're second favourite.
Yeah. And do you play entirely to the British Ground Green rules?
No, we still have slight idiosyncrasies, such as 2 throws of the jack. We still allow stamping.
Yeah.
Simple things like you've got to make a standard. If you're not satisfied with the measure, you can
cut in
actually
a
cut
straw.
That's right, and that in itself's an art.
Of course it is, yeah.
If you've got any kind of nervous disability, you've got no chance of doing that either.
No, I remember playing Vernon Lee, a panel game once years ago, and he tried to cut a straw, and he had about half a dozen attempts. In the end, he kicked the ball in the gutter.
You get 5 minutes to cut it, and then 2 minutes to set it, but
So,
it's not easy.
No, it's not. It is a particular art.
Yeah.
I mean, I've never tried it myself, but I've say I've only seen once I played Vernon. He cut it, and he lost his temper in the end. Vernon, and he kicked him off.
Yeah, you get good people who can cut good straws.
Yeah. The tooth cast of the block. I mean, do you think that's good for the game?
It's not detrimental, but it obviously is time consuming. I think that's probably why it went out of the game in general, because obviously some people would deliberately throw the jack off on the first cast, trying to get it that close to the edge, and sending the jack twice, maybe a dozen times throughout the game could well sort of lengthen the game of bowls. Yeah, and if you're playing a league match, it does tend to eat into the time that's available.
The advantage, I suppose, is just try and get the block where you want it, isn't it?
Yep.
Yeah. But it's good to see that people like you. I mean, Alan Wilkinson's been in earlier. He's obviously a supporter, isn't he?
Well, Alan's our president at the panel, and he's probably the biggest beneficiary in bowls, Alan. He's never frightened of putting his hand in his pocket. He'll support anything and everything, Alan. He's not particularly a well man, but he puts himself out for bowls. It's unbelievable, really, what he's prepared to do for bowls.
Yeah, he is, and the sport needs people like that as well, doesn't it?
It does, and it needs people to replace the likes of Alan and others who are getting old. We've got our vice president, Roy Armson, 80 years of age, still playing bowls. It's unbelievable.
Yeah, and he was a good one as well.
Yeah, he was. Yeah, he had to watch where he was stood on the footer if he bothered standing on it at all.
Yeah, he didn't normally bother. It's just there.
Somewhere
just
near it, especially in the old days when it was the big footers. Yeah, it was a lot more difficult to play him.
Anyway, thanks, Dave. It's a pleasure having you in here, and nice to see you looking so well and fit.
Yeah, well, I don't have to go through what these lads are going through. It makes a big difference.
You're not stopping all night then?
No, I'll be going home shortly, but I'm back again tomorrow.
Yeah, okay. To see the final.
To see the final, yeah. I'll be here witnessing from 10 till 2, and then I've got to be here when Guinness turn up at 5 o'clock.
Right, okay. And well done.
Thank you very much. It's
Thanks,
a pleasure.
David.
No problem whatsoever.